Since car registration is one of the services Move to Prague offers to our clients, and I made a video about that just like a couple of weeks ago, then car insurance is the next logical topic I should speak about, because it's like tied together. If you want to register a car in the Czech Republic, you need to get the car insured. Also, the insurance is usually done for a year, so then you need to renew it, and you can change a different provider. You can choose different coverage. So I will cover all this in today's video. So first of all, how it all works in the Czech Republic. It's probably similar to something you know in some other countries, but in another country it can be completely different. So how it all works. Every car which goes on the streets must be insured, and it must have so-called povinné ručení, so like a mandatory insurance. Basically, you pay this as the owner of the car or as the person driving the car, and you pay to cover if there is some, or maybe if you if you get in a crash, this mandatory insurance covers the other person, or there are basically like two limits or two kind of sub-insurances in that, but this is mandatory. So you need to have this povinné ručení. This is the mandatory insurance that covers the other person in case you get into crash. And it covers in two like perspectives. One is the actual material, or the things you can destroy. So that would be a car of the other person, or if you break something else as well, then that covers that. And you can choose the insurance limit based on how big of, let's say, how much you want to destroy things, or you expect yourself to destroy things. And then the other part of the insurance is covering human factor, let's say. So if you kill someone, or if you cause some injuries, then this like going to a doctor, going through all the treatments, all that can be pretty expensive, especially if you, for example, I don't know, you crash a bus, you know, where there is like 30 people, all of them get like their limbs broken, all that can be pretty expensive to pay for all this. So that's the other part of the insurance. That's the mandatory, and everyone has to have it as long as the car runs on Czech streets. Of course, if you have a car and it's just like deposited somewhere, or it's just like for a show standing at your home, you don't have to. But as long as you have the license plates, you should have the car insured. So that's the mandatory thing. I will talk more about the price and what it consists of. So yes, the prices can vary a lot based on many factors, but generally this one, the mandatory, is not that expensive, and you have variety what you can choose. Then the second part, or second option, is optional insurance, and that basically means that you can cover your car in case of some crash. Basically that means if you cause some crash, because if someone else causes the crash, then you will be paid from his insurance, from the mandatory insurance. He needs to pay for the event he like destroys someone else's car. So that should be fine. But if you crash your car, or if something happens to your car and it's kind of your fault or no one's fault, then you can have this additional insurance, which we call havarijní, like a crash insurance. I don't know the official term in English because I've never used it actually, but in Czech it's havarijní, like a crash insurance. And then there are like different versions of that, because there are different things you can get insured. The most common option is so-called all risk, which covers all the risks. Kind of makes sense. But you can also just choose some of the parts you want to have covered, some of the parts you don't want to cover, or you can have the all risk plus you can also get some extras to that. So this would be a pretty complex video or a complex topic to go like deep into that. But the main general types of this insurance is obviously a crash. Second would be if someone steals the car. Then if like natural things, So if there is, I don't know how it's called, like not a heavy rain will probably not, but maybe flood could. If you park your car somewhere close to the river and like the river, the water level increased a lot during the night because of raining or whatever, that could be covered. Or I don't know how it's called, like when it's actually not raining, but it's dropping these like ice balls, small ice balls. That's pretty common to happen here in the Czech Republic, and it can destroy the car pretty significantly. So you can insure that as well. You can insure it against a crash with an animal, or you can insure it against like animal destroying your car in a different way. So this mainly applies to, again, I don't know what's the name of the animal, but like a small rodent, not rodent, a small animal which goes into your like motor and like can bite some cables, and then the car couldn't start and stuff like that. So you can insure all that. You can have additional insurance of the front glass, front window. There are plenty of things you can get insured. You can also get insured your luggage and way more things. So all this is not mandatory. It's you can get it if you want. You don't have to. And then the price depends on manufacturers. Obviously, it depends on how much you want to have covered. That's clear. Also depends on the type of the car, on the age of the car, mile age of the car as well. So how used the car is, because that kind of reflects the price. If the new car costs 1 million crowns, then after 1 year it's already like 500 crowns. After 2 years, 450. So the price decreases. So also the insurance kind of reflects that, and they will not pay the same amount of money if the car is 1 year old and 15 years old. So that's one thing. Also the experience and age and/or of the driver or the owner. So longer you drive in the Czech Republic, if you don't have any crashes, if you don't use the insurance, so longer you drive, the cheaper the insurance is for you. So if you drive, if this is your first car insurance in the Czech Republic, then it will cost, I don't know, the mandatory one will cost 10,000 crowns, just to give you an example. If you already drive for 5 years with no accidents, then it will cost 8,000 crowns. If you drive for 20 years with no accidents, it could cost like 3,000 crowns. So it's proportional to that. Of course, if you crash, then they will increase it again, but you're getting so-called bonuses, and longer you drive without any trouble, the cheaper the insurance is, the mandatory one. One interesting thing is that the price also depends on the city where you use the car. Because in some cities it might be more, there is heavier traffic, so it's more likely for something to happen, or there is higher crime rate, like cars are stolen more, or there might be other factors, but also depends on the city where you live. Generally this is pretty like simple to get if you know what you're trying to get. If you just want to get the mandatory one, that's a super simple process, because that's mandatory, so you need to have it. So the only difference there is the coverage, how much you want to have covered in the material thing, let's say, if you destroy something, the car or something else, and how much you want to have covered in like human measurement, let's say. So there are different limits starting from 35 million to 50, 100, 120, 150. So it depends what you want there. And then the other factor is price. There is nothing else much to choose. If you want to get the extra insurance, that gets a bit more complicated. You need to know a bit more about the car and about like how all the bonuses work and how all the extracts interact with each other. So if you need any help with that, get in touch. We'll be happy to send you some quotes, because we work with, I don't know how many there are, like 10 different insurance companies in the Czech Republic, from the biggest ones like Unica, Allianz, Generali, and others, to the small ones like Pillow or I don't know, some others. So if you need a quotation or if you need any advice, if you want to get the car insurance, get in touch. The same if you want to get the car registered, we'll be happy to help you. If you have any questions, please comment or get in touch and I'll be happy to answer. So thank you very much guys for watching and see you again Monday, Thursday until the end of the world. See ya.